Hello my friends and welcome back. Today we're doing a review of numbers. So we're going to start off today with our number line. We love counting our number line. It's so fun. So let's take a look at our number line and remember that the number line starts at 0, but we start counting at 1. How many candies do I have in my hand? I have 0. I have none. How many cars do I have in my hand? I have 0. I have none. So when we count numbers and when we learn about numbers, it's important for us to understand them 3 different ways. First, we need to understand it in terms of a quantity. That means how many do I have in my hand? Okay, so how many blocks do I have in my hand? I have 1. I have 1 block in my hand. Good. The next way we need to understand our numbers is on a number line. If I'm trying to see how old I am, I look for the number. Now most of us are 2, but some of us are 3. Good. So when we look at the number line, we know that when we're littler than 3, we're 2. But when we're bigger than 3, we're 4. So we need to understand our numbers on a number line. The third way we need to understand numbers is as a symbol. So when we see this number up here, we see this symbol. Numbers are symbols and they have a meaning. And when our brain sees that number 3, it should mean something to us. Yeah? So we're going to talk about all those different ways today. We're going to start out, like I said, singing our number line. So let's do it. Here we go. Can you guys find the number 1 on your number line? Let's sing it together. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. It's important for us to keep looking at this number line when we count to see what those different numbers look like so we can remember. We're going to do an activity where I'm going to show you some blocks and you guys will match the numbers up and see how many blocks I have. Okay, so when we look at the number line this time, we're going to use the number line to help us figure out how many blocks I have. So I'm going to pull my number line up here and I'm going to put some blocks in a row. Good, so we're going to count these blocks. How many blocks do I have? Let's count them and see. 1, 2, 3. Good, we're going to match them up with numbers on our number line. 1, 2, 3. Do you see that number 3 right there? 3 is how many blocks we have. We have 3 blocks. Okay, so let's remember which one is bigger and which one is more. So on this side, I'm going to put 2 blocks right here by the number 2. Over here, I'm going to put 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is so many. Okay, which one is bigger? Which tower is bigger? Which tower has more? The tower with 2 blocks or the tower with 7 blocks? It's 7. 7 is bigger. 7 has more. Great job. Another way to practice counting is using an abacus. That helps us with our one-to-one correspondence. We're going to count these cute little birdies one by one. Okay, we're going to count these little birdies one by one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 birdies. Okay, what if I only want 3 birdies on this side of my counter? Let's see how many that is. 1, 2, 3. Is that all of the birdies? No, that's not all of the birds. That's only 3. The rest of them stayed over here. Great job. Okay, friends, we have a little house on this side of my board. And this little house right here, it can hold 10 people. 10 people can live in that house. So we're going to count our numbers down from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now when we get to 10 in our house right here, we can't fit 2 numbers in this box. We can only fit 1. We can only fit 1 number and we can only fit We can only fit one number and we can only fit 10 friends. Okay, so in order for us to draw our number 10, we have to add another house. So now we have 10. Good. Okay, so then what happens when we want to add another? Okay, so now that we know that this house is full of 10 kids, we are going to erase all these numbers because this is one full house of 10 kids. Okay, well that means this house is empty now. So we're going to take this house right here and we're going to add some more kids to it. So if I add a little kid here and a little kid here, how many kids are in my house now? I have one house that's full of 10 kids, but I added 2 more. So I have this house with 2. Okay, so if we look at this in relationship to our number line, I had 10 kids in my house that was full. And then I added 2 kids to that house. That means I got 2 more. Remember, when we go this way, we get more. So now the number that is 2 more than 10 is 10, 11, 12. Do you see what is written in my little houses? A 1 and a 2. That is 12. That means we have one full house of 10 kids plus 2. Good. So what happens if we add another kid in here? Then how many kids do we have in this house? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 kids in this house. So we're going to erase the 2 and we're going to draw a 3. We have one full house. It's totally full of 10. And then in this house, we have 1, 2, 3. We write that number as a 1 and a 3. That number is 13. Can you say 13? 13. So let's count the numbers past 10 and see if we can find 13. Here we go. We have 10, 11, 12, 13. Do you see that 1 and that 3? That's 13. That means we had one house that was full of kids. 10 kids fit in that house. Then we added 3 more and we have 13 kids. Okay, friends, so these right here, these places where we draw our numbers, this is the ones place. But when the ones place can only have one number. But when the ones place, when its house is full, guess what? It gets to move over here and it gets to tell us how many houses we have that are full of 10. Okay, so this is a brand new concept for us. But once our house fills and it's totally full of 10, then we leave the 1 here because we can only fit one number in this house. And then however many other little people we have in here, let's count this time. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have a 1 and a 5. We have one house that's full of 10. Then we added 5 more. Let's look at our number line and see what happens when we have 10 and add 5 more. Here we go. There's our number line. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's crazy. 15, just like we see in our little houses. Let me draw a house here. Here we go. That's our little house. It's a big house now because it has 10 kids in it. When we draw a 1 and a 5, that's 15. That's how many kids fit in that house. So we love to count to 10, but as we add more numbers and we need a bigger house, our numbers go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is 2 houses full of 10. It is so many. Great job counting with me today.